tell us where it happened where you just shot up and got famous. Because you're famous.
Oh my god.
You're famous.
I'm famous for being spoiled, right? So
yes.
this is how it started.
I need everyone to just sit down for a second because what did I just watch? I honestly had to pause and collect myself. If you've been keeping up with Princess Amelia for a while, you probably thought we already hit the lowest point, that nothing could possibly get stranger or more uncomfortable. But nope, it somehow got worse. Way worse. And before anyone jumps in with, "You're being dramatic," trust me, this is not an exaggeration. You'll see exactly why. This wasn't just awkward. It wasn't just some staged skit. It was one of those videos where halfway through, you literally have to stop and ask yourself, how is this even allowed online? Out of every idea in the world, this is what they went with. I don't get shocked easily. I've seen the weirdest influencer stunts. Fake breakups, fake drama, fake charity, all just for clicks. But Amelia's situation? This felt different. It wasn't just strange, it felt calculated. It felt like someone was trying to dress something up as harmless when it clearly wasn't. And here's the wild part. It's not just outsiders saying this. Even her own fans are calling it out now.
How much was the bill?
It was about $400.
Oh, that's not too bad.
You know it's bad when the loyal crowd, the ones who defend everything, start saying, "Hold up, something isn't right here." So let's break it down. What clip sparked this chaos? The patterns that led up to it? The brothers' questionable role? And honestly, the bigger picture of why influencer culture keeps putting minors in messy, uncomfortable storylines. It's weird, it's upsetting, and low-key dark. But that's exactly why we gotta talk about it. How much was the bill? It was about $400. Well, that's not terrible. So here's what went down. Amelia posted a TikTok. At first glance, whatever, another dance video. Seen it 1,000 times, right? But no, not this time. Because the second the music hits, you instantly know something is off. And you know the song, Don't Act Like You Don't. That famous track, My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard. Listen, that song is not made for kids. It's flirty, suggestive, and everyone knows what it's about. But here's Amelia, underage, dancing to it. Now look, kids use trending audio without knowing the meaning all the time. We've all seen 13-year-olds lip-sync grown lyrics like they're shooting a music video. It's cringy, but usually it's harmless. What made this video cross the line was everything around it. The camera work, the angles, the edits. It looked like an ad campaign. Slow pans, zoom-ins that lingered way too long. And a reveal moment. It didn't feel like a random TikTok, it felt like a perfume commercial. And here's the part that made everybody uneasy. Her older brother was the one behind it. Not just in the room, directing it. You could tell by the flashes, the framing, the whole setup was deliberate. This wasn't a kid recording herself on her phone. This was content being produced. And once the content is your underage sister filmed in a suggestive styled scene, that's not quirky sibling fun anymore. That's disturbing. The comment section knew it too. Normally her fans are young kids saying, "She's so cute, slay queen," or older viewers saying people are reading too much into things. But this time, even the most loyal fans were uncomfortable. People were commenting things like, "This is insanely concerning for siblings." When even the diehards start speaking up, you know a line was crossed. Of course, the brothers' defenders tried to spin it. It's just a joke. They're just being funny. There's nothing funny about filming your underage sister in a video intentionally styled to look mature and flirty. That's not comedy. That's not creative.
She wants me to buy her a $3
Like $3 million?
car.
Three and a half.
Wait, that's affordable. You can get me one.
What do you mean by it's affordable? I don't even have that much money.
That's something that never should have been posted. Period. And let's remember, platforms like YouTube and TikTok are supposed to be strict about this stuff. People have had videos taken down for far less. So how did this one slip through? Is it because their channel is dressed up as family content? Because if so, that's even scarier. It means someone looked the other way just because it had a wholesome label slapped on top. So yeah, that TikTok wasn't just one weird moment. It was a bright red flag connecting all the strange behavior people ignored for months. She wants me to buy her a 3 million? 3.5. What do you mean affordable? I don't have that kind of money. Here's what makes this even worse. It's not just one concerning video. If it were just the milkshake clip, maybe you could chalk it up to bad judgment, delete it, and move on. But no, there's a whole pattern. Amelia and her brother basically built their brand around staged sibling drama. Scroll through their content. Fake prank videos, fake date challenges, over-the-top jealous sister storylines. All of it is painfully scripted, but people eat it up. Hundreds of thousands of views. At first glance, you might think, oh, it's harmless, just silly content. But once you actually watch, you realize, yeah, not so harmless, because the roles they keep pushing are straight up strange. Amelia is always the bratty younger sister obsessed with her brother's attention, jealous when he talks to other girls, throwing fits when he dates someone. And sure, maybe it could be funny if she were older and it was an obvious parody, but she's not. She's young, and that changes the entire tone. Suddenly, it doesn't feel cute. It feels creepy. There's a video of her whining about not being taken to Disneyland, another where she's begging to go on a date with her brother. Everyone knows it's staged. Nobody thinks she's literally doing this in real life. But that doesn't make it better, because the message becomes, this weird sibling obsession storyline is cool, funny, marketable. It's not. It's uncomfortable. And it's not even good acting. That's not shade at Amelia. She's literally a kid being told what to do. But the way her brother pushes these scripts...
And Thomas, he set up a camera. And then he started telling me to wash the dishes. And I crashed out and I was like, no, I'm not gonna wash no dishes. I was like, who do you think I am? You wash the dishes. And he just picked out the best clip and he literally put that together.
Embarrassingly obvious. It's giving rejected Disney Channel pilot. Except even Disney would have known not to make the sibling dynamic creepy. Disney, despite all its flaws, knew how to do silly sibling comedy without crossing into why does this feel wrong territory. Here, the energy is off. Way off. And once you start seeing the pattern, you can't unsee it. It stops feeling like harmless family content and starts feeling like someone older is designing storylines that revolve around their younger sister acting in ways she shouldn't have to act just for clicks. That's disturbing. And the internet? They finally caught on. And here's the wild part. Fans are actually falling for it. I've seen the comments myself. People are calling Amelia bratty like it's real, flooding her page with messages like, "You don't deserve boba," or "Stop being jealous." Like, really? You think she just randomly started whining while the camera conveniently happened to be recording? Come on, that's what makes all of this risky. When younger viewers can't tell what's scripted and what's not, the lines start to blur. Then, suddenly, you've got an entire audience thinking this strange sibling dynamic is just who she is. And don't forget, she's still underage. Yet her whole online image is being molded by these scripted scenarios. So no, this isn't just one random video gone wrong. It's a pattern. The milkshake clip simply made it way too obvious. Because once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Every jealous sister skit, every fake date prank, every forced storyline suddenly looks a whole lot darker. And honestly, how anyone defends this at this point is beyond me. Thomas set up a camera, then told me to wash the dishes. And I got mad like, no, I'm not washing dishes. Who do you think I am? You wash the dishes. And he just picked out the best clip and edited it together, right?
Spoiled sister
No, we're not
gets
getting
mad
it.
she doesn't get a $7,000
I need a
piece.
$50.90 for Roblox. What is wrong with
Don't
you?
need it.
I need a $400 case and a $50.90.
All right, let's talk about the brother because honestly, he is a walking red flag in every direction. His whole channel is basically a knockoff of those fake prank creators, the Brent Rivera-style formula. You know, the scripted pranks, staged arguments, dramatic thumbnails with that wide-eyed, shocked face. The same blueprint. Except here's the difference. Brent's content may be cheesy, but it's mostly harmless. Amelia's brother? He takes it to a whole new level of cringe and discomfort. I forced myself to watch a few of his videos strictly for research, and I swear I lost brain cells. The things he makes her do in public are wild. Imagine being a mall employee just trying to fold shirts, and suddenly this guy is filming a fake date challenge with his underage sister 2 feet away. Loud voices, fake drama, and strangers giving awkward side-eye while trying to mind their business. And here's the part that really stands out. His content doesn't even perform unless Amelia is in it. Seriously, check the views. The ones with just him get half the engagement. But when she's there, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. That alone tells you everything. Amelia isn't just his guest. She's literally the content. And that's where it starts looking way less like a fun collab and way more like straight-up exploitation. Let's be real. He knows exactly what he's doing. These uncomfortable storylines aren't accidents. They're calculated because they get clicks. He's banking on shock value, people being disturbed, confused, or upset, because outrage equals engagement, and engagement equals money. But at what cost? Is internet clout worth putting your little sister's reputation on the line? And please, spare me the "it's just jokes" excuse. There are a million directions you can take comedy. Jealous little sister fighting over fake girlfriends doesn't need to be one of them. And honestly, the acting makes it worse. It's not good at all. Painfully bad. And that's not shade toward Amelia. She's literally a kid. She's not supposed to be delivering Oscar-level performances. But the way her brother keeps pushing her into these forced skits just highlights how unnatural the whole thing is. It doesn't feel playful or silly. It feels uncomfortable. Also, can we talk about the lack of originality? Every video is some recycled idea, fake date challenges, jealous sibling pranks, fake stalker stories, 24-hour nonsense. It's giving, ran out of ideas but still needs views. And when you're that desperate, you start crossing lines you shouldn't. And that's exactly what's happening here. Spoiled sister doesn't get us $7,000. I need a 5090 for Roblox. What's wrong with you? You need a $400 case and a $5,090 case. Now let's talk about the part nobody ever mentions. The money. Because yeah, the videos are uncomfortable, the storylines are weird, but at the end of the day, who's actually getting paid? Amelia is under 18, which means she legally can't manage her own AdSense account. You must be 18 to get paid from YouTube, which raises the biggest red flag of all. If the channel is earning, and trust it is, whose name is on the account? Who is getting the checks? It's clearly not Amelia, and this is where things get shady fast. Unless there's some kind of transparent trust setup, which, let's be honest, does anyone actually believe that's happening? Her brother is the one controlling the money, meaning Amelia, who is clearly the main reason the channel is even relevant, might not be seeing anything. Imagine putting in work all through your teenage years, staging skits, filming uncomfortable scenes, dealing with internet attention you never asked for, only to find out later you didn't earn a single dime from it. No savings, no security, nothing. That's not just messed up, it's exploitation. Her brother is building a brand and a paycheck off of her image. And she's the one carrying the content on her back without even having access to the profits. And if that's true, that means he's using her as a business tool. One who doesn't even get a fair cut. Now, tell me again how this is just content. And here's the thing. People are actually buying into this storyline. I've seen the comments myself. Folks calling Amelia jealous, like it's real. Flooding her socials with messages like, "You don't deserve boba," or "Stop being so clingy." Like, please, it's obviously scripted. You really think she just randomly complained with a camera perfectly running? Come on, that's what makes it risky. When younger viewers can't tell what's a performance and what's just a skit, the lines get blurred fast. Suddenly, they think this odd back-and-forth dynamic is just who she is. And remember, she's still young. Her online persona is being shaped by someone else's creative direction. So no, this isn't a one-off situation. It's a formula, and that one dance clip made that formula way too clear. Once you notice it, you start seeing it everywhere. Every jealous act, every fake date prank, every exaggerated storyline suddenly feels heavier. And honestly, I don't know how anybody can defend it after that. Thomas, he set up a camera and then he started telling me to wash the dishes and I crash out and I was like, no, I'm not going to wash no dishes. He just picked out the best clip and pulled that together. See, this is why the brother has become the walking caution flag in this whole thing. His channel, straight copy-paste of popular staged prank creators. You know the style, fake pranks, high-energy reaction thumbnails, over-the-top challenges. Same blueprint. But here's the difference. When adults do that stuff, it's cringy but harmless. Here, his ideas lean way into uncomfortable territory, and the execution makes it worse. I watched a few videos for research, and wow, I want compensation for the brain cells I sacrificed. The public setups alone are wild. Imagine being a mall employee just trying to fold shirts, and suddenly there's a fake argument 2 feet away while a camera is recording. Here's what really stands out. His content doesn't hit unless Amelia is in it. Check the numbers. When it's just him, meh. When she's there, boom. Hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. That tells you everything. She's not just a guest, she's the centerpiece. And that's where it starts looking less like collaboration and more like someone building a business around another person's image without real balance. Because let's be honest, he knows exactly which storylines get traction. Nothing accidental about it. He's leaning into reactions, surprise, confusion, even criticism, because comments mean activity, and activity means money. But that raises a bigger question. At what cost? It's not hard to imagine pressure building behind the scenes. And yes, people try to defend it with, it's just jokes. But there's a million ways to be funny. This specific script doesn't need to be the go-to. And honestly, the acting makes it even more uncomfortable because it looks forced. That's not her fault. She's young. She's not supposed to be delivering movie-level performances. But because it feels unnatural, it just reminds viewers that she didn't create these ideas. And the creativity, it's stale. Same themes over and over again. Fake jealous role, fake dates, dramatic challenges, forced reactions. It feels like someone ran out of concepts but still needed views, so they kept recycling the same formula. And when people get desperate online, they start crossing lines they shouldn't. Then there's the whole tech angle. I need a 5090 for Roblox. You need a $400 case and a 5090. It's all designed for reaction. And sure, it's silly, but when you see it stacked on top of everything else, the picture gets complicated. Now let's talk money, because that's where everything gets serious. She's under 18, which means she legally can't manage her own AdSense. You must be 18 to get YouTube payouts. So if their page is earning, and it is, whose name is on the account? Who touches the money? Exactly. It's not hers. Unless there's a formal, transparent setup, which, let's be real, rarely exists in influencer households, then the earnings are landing under someone else. Meaning, she might be the reason those videos go viral and still never see the financial benefit. Imagine building an audience through your entire teenage years just to find out you weren't included fairly. That's not just disappointing, it's a major life disadvantage. And before anyone says, maybe she's saving her money, history says otherwise. We've seen this same scenario play out with multiple family channels. Lawsuits, public fallouts, emotional fallout. Same formula. And it's not like the payout is huge anyway. Shorts pay tiny. 1 million views might earn barely anything. It's not like someone's trading their image for a massive check. It's more like giving away your future for a short-term trend. And here's where the anxiety kicks in. The internet never forgets. Once something is posted, even if deleted, it lives on. Screenshots, reposts, reaction videos, archives. So years from now, if she tries to build a different life, go to college, apply for a job, pursue something new, the first thing people will see is a backlog of staged skits she didn't even create. Imagine sitting in an interview and someone says, "So tell me about this old video where you had this dramatic back and forth with your sibling. What was that about?" How do you even respond? Schools, employers, and yes, future relationships, look up your history. That digital trail becomes part of your story whether you want it or not. Now, audiences, especially younger ones, don't always see the issue. They think it's funny. They comment like it's real life. Meanwhile, platforms that claim to protect younger creators often overlook this stuff because it doesn't technically break any rules. But that loophole is exactly how this kind of content keeps getting pushed. And that's the real concern. Because where's the boundary? If this type of content succeeds, then others start copying it. Suddenly, there's a whole wave of channels using the same formula. And that's how unhealthy trends get normalized. This isn't just about one creator. It's about the example being set. And it's not new. We've seen similar stories with other young creators. Same structure, adult direction, scripted relationships, drama for views. Over time, it gets harder to defend until finally everyone admits, yeah, that wasn't okay. Which raises another question. Where are the adults? Because watching this content, it's hard to believe every guardian actually reviewed these storylines and said, yep, this makes sense. Either they aren't paying attention or they're choosing to ignore it because the views look good. Both options are concerning. And the brother stepping into a manager-type role without proper structure just makes things messier. He's focused on views, not her long-term well-being. Platforms should have protections for younger creators, real guidelines, real financial structure. Because if this were traditional media, there would be labor rules, trust accounts, safety oversight. Online, it's open season. And we've heard this story too many times. Years later, the creator speaks out saying they had no control and didn't receive fair compensation. By then, the harm is already done. This isn't just about one kid, it's about a bigger pattern in influencer culture. When views become the priority, boundaries vanish. And because the shock factor works, people keep pushing until a line gets crossed. So after watching all of this, it's tough to defend. Sure, folks will say it's just acting, but let's be honest. Once you see the bigger picture, it's hard to unsee it. What breaks my heart is she might not notice the impact until years later. She's following direction, doing her part, keeping the views rolling. But one day, she might look back and realize her childhood identity was built around someone else's idea of who she should be online. And unless platforms step in and parents take a real role, we'll be back here in 6 months talking about the next situation just like this. Because the system rewards it. So yeah, it's sad, tiring, and honestly concerning. But it's also a reminder. Family content isn't always wholesome. The algorithm doesn't care who gets used for views. Anyway, what do you think about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one.